I really believe that records can determine your future. And we just got nice breaks and so forth.
I guess the shop really is an extension of like my interest in music. All we really try and do here is make it like a place we would like to shop in if we were going looking for records. I mean, we do at this point sell a little bit of just about every genre of music. A lot of collectors, the first thing you do is you have a glance at the wall and it's like, what are they, you know. So we just try and put interesting stuff on there. Like this side is like all the hip hop stuff, and then all the sort of pop rock stuff, and then over the other side is like the jazz, the funk and the soul and the reggae. If we don't sell it downstairs, we sell it upstairs. So we have like, we call it like arcade bass is the top floor of our shop, and that's for all the dance music. It wasn't actually me who started it. It was a guy called David Samuel who started it. Yeah. It used to be called the Rarekind Gallery. Yeah. And it was a graffiti shop that sold a few records. It was like, sold paint and did customized t-shirts. I think we moved in 2006, so we're coming up on 20 years. And originally the gallery was downstairs and the record shop was upstairs. It's hard to make a record shop work. I love it when we have new releases that I like, or from artists that I like, believe in, or I'm a fan of. Like this is a JME record. He was here and did like a pop-up shop here. Yeah, I really enjoy putting people onto new music that I like and maybe doing my own tiny little bit to keep the whole thing moving. I mean, I think the fact that like physical music is still a thing in 2025 is kind of crazy, right? There was a point in like 2006, 2007, an awful lot of music didn't come out on vinyl. It did look at those points that like it was maybe gonna just come down to like those die-hard collectors that had always collected, and the vinyl market was gonna be very small and eventually shrink to nothing. I mean, what I would say is that at that point in time, we were selling a lot more secondhand. There wasn't such cool stuff coming out new, so we didn't sell so much of it. And then just at the point where it was probably at its bleakest, there starts to be a sort of interest and a resurgence, and like a new generation of labels come out, and suddenly there's quite a lot of cool, interesting independent releases on vinyl again. And now a very large percentage of stuff gets pressed on vinyl. If the biggest artists in the world are putting records out, that's a sign that records are a thing. When I first started buying records, that was the only way to get that music. If you wanted to own the music, especially with like little independent releases and stuff, the only way to do it was on a record. You know that song Back to Life by Soul to Soul? The album version of Back to Life is just a cappella. So if you wanted like the version that was #1, you had to go and buy it on a single. And then like there's a 12-inch single of that that's got an extended mix or whatever. So it's like, that was like, oh, I need to buy a record. Had a guy in the other day who was like, yeah, I've got rid of my Spotify subscription. I've taken like YouTube off my phone. Like I'm sick of the amount of music that's out there. I'm just buying some tapes, and if I like the cover, I'm buying it, and it's going in the Walkman. It's a bit more of an expression of your love and commitment to the thing. If the music means something to you, then maybe you want to invest your money in it. Certainly if you're talking about like shopping in a physical space rather than online, like why are these records here? Why have I come across this old record from the 70s with this interesting cover? Like what's drawn me to it? What's made me pick it up, chuck it on the deck and like it? Like that sort of serendipity of being in a place and a time, and the sort of finite nature of finding things rather than having everything at your disposal. You take it out, you whack it on, you look at the back, you read the notes. You're probably more likely to listen to the whole thing as well. I think one of the reasons why they remain relevant is that although digital music can sound great, I don't think anyone would argue with you that like a well-made, well-mastered record on a nice system doesn't sound better. There's no doubt that like a record shop is not as central to the people's experience of music as it used to be. Everything always needs fresh blood. You need future generations to get into something. Yeah. Otherwise, what happens is you just get left with a bunch of like old people moaning about how things used to be. Music's supposed to be like energetic and fun. I always wanted this place to be a combination of both those things. So you can come and buy some cool new stuff, but you can also hunt for old stuff. The beauty of record shops was always finding stuff, hopefully at a nice price, or you might get a bit of a bargain. Like if you price everything up to the eyeballs, what reason has anyone got to come and see you? They might as well sit at home and click 3 buttons and buy the record. The hope is that like people will be like, oh, I want to go check Rarekind because they might have some cool stuff, and I might get something for a nice price. Like that's what you're aiming for, I think.
Favourite album of all time?
All time.
I mean, that is like, it's an impossible question to answer, and it always changes. But I generally would go with Illmatic by Nas. Like that's
Really? Okay.
yeah. If I had a top 10, I reckon that one's always in it.